Hey everybody. Today I'm going to set up a thumbnail for a video that I just released. Basically, I've done a couple of images related to the Grail stuff. I figured that doing something on the lines of the thumbnails that I've been using or setting up might be valuable as well as kind of a pit stop on the way to getting my other graphics done. So I have a very simple set of layers here. One is my text, one is my kind of Grail online icon. So I'd actually pulled this from the web. This is a house. This is the house icon from in-game that's just been blown up. And then I have a blue-green gradient in the background here. Okay, so I'm going to be making this thumbnail for a level build that's like a spooky, kind of like a graveyard layout with a Halloween kind of a theme. So I've grabbed a couple of items here. As I take the opportunity here, I'm going to mention that I have gotten 100 hours of watch time. I thank you guys so much. I hope that everybody enjoys the content that I've been doing. And if you want to leave a comment, specifically say, congrats on your new achievement or, something in game, reach out to me in game, in Grail, and I will send you a Christmas gift from last year. I have one left, and I was waiting for 100 hours of watch time to send it out. So if you're hearing this, you're watching the video, shoot me a comment, contact me in game, and I will send you a present. Whoever's the first one, I'll also mention it in the comments. Whoever gets it. Okay, so done with that. I have three objects here that I want to use in my graphic. So I have a Crypt Guillotine. This is from the game. I have the pumpkin. So my pumpkin it's actually a pumpkin pet that was released a couple years ago. I think he's in the furniture grab bags. And then I have a really, really old pumpkin. This is from the first set of the Pumpkin Patch pumpkins. So this one here is quite old. Okay. So my idea is I'm going to use those in my thumbnail. Really quick, I'm just going to run in and go through cropping some of these out. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit further here. This guy's going to be the easiest one. I'm just going to whip out my magic wand. It's basically, yeah, it's just going to automatically select. I've got a little bit of threshold, but it's not going to make any difference. All of his frames or all of his pixels are all already selected. So that's done. That one's done. Easy peasy. I just would have to blow him up. So I'll do that in the other image. I think this one's probably going to be the next easiest just because it's relatively small. I can't really use the magic wand on this because there's so much other texture around him, but I'm going to try and cut off as much of the other graphics as possible. And I'm actually going to leave 1 pixel on either side here so I can get in with the magic wand and do some damage. Okay, so I'm going to cut that out. I'm going to paste it, and then I'm going to bring it off to the side here where I can work on it. And I'm going to get rid of the rest of this. I don't need any of that. There's a plant and some fencing. I'm just going to delete the whole thing. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in even further. And now I'm going to go in with my magic wand first, and I'm going to try and get rid of some of this this brown texture, the sand. So U is the shortcut I'm using for magic wand. And see, I'm using the threshold of 5, and it's actually not the variance isn't great enough to grab the rest of this. So I'm going to actually throw it up to, let's say, about 30. I'm going to try the same thing, and it's see what's happened here is it's actually grabbed all of that brown texture. Okay, so I'm going to delete that. Half the work is done already. And I think the easiest way to do that going forward is just going to be the eraser. So I'm going to go Shift and E to pop out my eraser. And I will just quickly take out everything that's not the right color or texture. Okay, so that's pretty much there. I'm going to go right up to the edge on this one. And this is really judgment. I mean, I could probably include if there was an outline on this, but I think that in game it works pretty much the same way, that it's just copy pasted right in. Like the graphic just is superimposed. I don't think that there's much of overlap between the colors in the pumpkin and the colors in the background image. Oh, there's one there I almost missed. Great. Okay, so I'm going to do one more thing is I'm going to copy paste this again just to make sure I didn't miss any stray pixels. Because what would have happened, I'll actually do it the wrong way just to show you here. If I copy this, and there's this one pixel here, I can cut and paste this, and it will show me that one pixel on my background. So there is one stray pixel here, right? So knowing that, I can go back to my eraser and knock them out, erase that one too. Okay, so there's my second pumpkin. And the hardest one, I think, is probably going to be this guillotine. I really want that to look good. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to use my selector. I'm going to go all the way around it. And in GIMP here, I can kind of get away with selecting part of it and then adjusting the edges on this to try and adjust it so it's about where I want it to be. Okay, and then I will do the same thing, cut it out, paste it. I'm going to bring it over to the side here, and I'm going to zoom out. Oh, I accidentally put that off of the edge. I'm going to keep it over here. And then I will erase the rest of this texture here. Delete it. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to zoom back in. And I can get away with using the selector to eliminate a lot of this. I can use the square one. I can also use the lasso. Lasso, how do you say it? I'm not sure. I'm actually going to expand my screen a little bit here and zoom out just one touch. And I'm going to go as close as I can. Doesn't have to be perfect. I just want to eliminate as many of these pixels as I can. There's that one there. It's got a little handle on it. And I'm going to come around down here and keep going like this. And get around it as far as I can. I'm not usually a fan of the lasso, but in some circumstances like this, it's going to allow me to get a much cleaner cut than just the square. Okay, and I will not do the same mistake again. I'm going to switch back to my square selector. Delete as many of these guys as I can get rid of. And I mean, this is really the name of the game here, is we're just trying to eliminate as much extra stuff as we can on our object when we're cropping. Okay, and then I got a great big space in the middle here. There's this empty hole in the middle. I'm actually going to start using my magic wand. So I have that 30 variance, the threshold here. I'm going to use the delete with that, and it should eliminate the majority of those outside colors. Working pretty good so far. The only thing I'm concerned about is that we had some of that brown. The brown is also matching the color of the wood a little bit. If my variance was a little bit higher, I think it would probably leach into the actual image that I'm going to crop out here. Oh, and now I'm too close in. Okay, so I'm going to use this one on this. Oh, see, that's exactly what happened here. Now you can see that this is actually leaked into the rest of this this image down here, and I've got that same color because my threshold is too high. It's sucked into the other colors there. Okay, let's see if I can find a sweet spot to kind of eliminate as much of that as possible. That looks pretty good. I'll go for it. Okay, so I have a couple places left to crop here. I'm going to zoom in a little further, and I can see this green needs to be removed. I'm going to do an eraser. I got one pixel width and height on my eraser. And then you can see there's all this other color in here as well. So I'm going to actually up the size on my eraser a little bit. I'll do it to 3. And get rid of these guys a little quicker. Okay, this guy has some kind of an extra something going on. Oh, that was wrong. I need to save that. There was a little kind of like a thorn or something sticking out over there. Eliminate that. Get all the rest of this color out of here. And now we have an image that's relatively clean. I'm going to use my pencil tool, reduce my brush size again. And I'm going to grab a sample of the color from the edge here. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to throw in a couple of kind of areas where that outline is a little bit more defined. I'm going to erase these sharp edge ones right here, and then I'm going to come up to this this blade. I'm going to see if I can get away with that. No, I cannot. It doesn't work. Too bad. Okay, so I will do like this, come along and outline my blade. So basically what this is doing, I'm going to pronounce the edges of my blade when it comes into the image, as opposed to it being you know, a soft edge. It's going to become a much bolder edge. So I'm kind of improving the crop basically by adding that edge on the blade, so it will be a lot more visible. Okay, so I have my two pumpkins, one kind of faded pumpkin. This was actually taken in a low light area. This guy here is a different one again, and then the guillotine here. So I have a guillotine. This is actually a pumpkin pet and a pumpkin. Cool. Okay, so I'm going to grab all of these guys and bring them into my other graphic here. Oh, that's just so gaudy. Gotta get rid of that background. You know what, I'm just going to take the whole thing. I'm going to dump it black just for now. Okay, so I'm going to do Shift B. This is the fill bucket. I'm going to do Shift, so fill hole selection. Oh, I have to be in my image. Fill hole selection, black. Okay, so now I'm going to take the house level. I'm going to remove the house. Actually, you know what? Let's do another layer. I'm not going to remove the house completely. I'm going to make the house faded and give it a background. Okay, so I'm going to do, instead I'm going to add another layer. So this is spooky layer, spooky. And then I'm going to go back to my image over here. I'm going to grab my spooky pumpkin. So I just cut them and I paste them back in there, and then I'm going to come in here and in my spooky layer I'm going to paste my pumpkin. He's a little teeny little pumpkin. That's okay. Go back in here, do the same thing with my other pumpkin. Paste him in here as well. Also a teeny little pumpkin, but that'll be fixed. And then I'm going to grab that guillotine as well. There's the guillotine. Cool. Okay. So essentially this file here is no good to me anymore. So I'm going to ditch it. I'm not going to save it. And I have my spooky stuff in my new layer. So what I want to do, I'm going to cut this one out. I'm going to put it in the background. And then I'm going to remove the viz on all these other ones, so I can't see them. And now I'm going to work with this pumpkin. Basically what I want to do is expand the size of it, and I want to get it to be maybe 10 pumpkins wide, 10 pumpkins tall, if I can. So I'm going to do a background with just this kind of faded pumpkin. That's my objective here. So I'm going to use, instead of pixels on my scaling, I'm going to use %. I'm going to go up to 250%. That's just an estimate. I don't think that's going to let me do 10 pumpkins, but I'll give it a shot. Not the end of the world if it's not exactly 10 pumpkins. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I'm going to grab that pumpkin. Oh, first I'm going to grab some black up here and cover those transparent areas. And then I'm going to grab this pumpkin like this. I'll be careful to try and make my edges the same. And then I'm going to zoom out, paste them, and I'm going to put it up in the top corner here, as close as I can get. A little further. My tools are in the way now. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. I'm just gonna copy paste, slap another one in, slap another one in. And this is just rough. It's not gonna be perfect. And then I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. I'll grab 5 pumpkins, or how many ever is there. It's 6 pumpkins. As close as I can anyway. Looks good. I'll do one more, paste it in, and I will bring it to the end of the line. And we'll call that good. Okay, so cool. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, I copy the same thing. Even though this one overlaps, what I'm going to do to remedy that, I'm going to take these pumpkins down, and then I'm going to flip it. So Shift and F for flip, and now we've got the pumpkin background is going to look really cool. It's going to be alternating pumpkins, so that looks pretty awesome. Do the same thing again, copy paste. We don't have to flip it this time because it's going to automatically have that motif. And I'll copy them again, do the same thing again. Basically, you get the idea here, is that we're going to have, you know, a crazy pumpkin background because Halloween is just around the corner. Okay, and I will do one more layer. But the one last layer is going to be just overhanging on the edge a little bit there. Cool. Okay, so now that looks like Pumpkin City. Great. This guy here, not really feeling it. I wanted to make it transparent. I'm wondering if that's really going to work very well. That white is still super, super white on the edges of that house. I think what I have to do is actually eliminate the white or change the color on it. So I'm going to take the dark color that I have here. I'm going to kind of make it less white, I guess. And then I'm going to go Shift B for my filler. And I'm not going to use the fill hole selection. I'm just going to do similar colors on my white. Oh, I have a 0 threshold. That's why we had those extra pixels there. Let's do a 5 threshold and see what we get. No. Interesting. Let's try a 10. Okay, so I got this layer around the edge here. I don't know what's going on with that. It looks like there's a spare pixels floating between my white and my color on my house. Yeah, there's a layer there. There we go. Done. Dealt with it. That'll fix it. Oh, look, there's more. Oh, no. Okay, so I have to zoom in again. Go and fix that one down below there, too. Great. Oh, yeah, the whole thing around the edge has the same color. So this is the nitty gritty of the editing. Sometimes you wind up with these scenarios. It probably could have been resolved if I had just grabbed another color there. Like if I had gone a little bit further with my threshold, but I think that I need to really look at this because some of these are green, some of them are white, some of them I want to keep, some of them I don't. Okay, that 1 pixel isn't going to make too much a difference. But the outline overall would have made a really big difference. It would have changed the image a lot. Okay, so I'm going to keep, oh my goodness, that's just so textured and colored. Okay, and keep these guys here. And I mean, this is really up to you. Some people like the kind of shady style where you got like scrap pixels everywhere. Maybe it looks good in some instances. For this specifically, it's a thumbnail on here. It's something that I'm trying to clean up a little bit. I'm already doing the cropping and the editing for this, so it's something where, removing some of that white outline is going to make it look better. Also looking at what happened with the transparency, I really want to eliminate as much of that white as possible. I got a couple of scrap ones here and there, but that's okay. Keep those. Again, this is like, I think it's 780 by 1200 or something. It's a huge file, so 1 or 2 pixels isn't going to be too terrible. Okay, so I'll do the same thing on the edge. The edge one was all the same color. And these guys down here as well. Okay, that's good. So now I'm going to make that transparent again. You know what I'm really tempted to do actually is on this layer, change the hue. I would really like that roof to be purple. I don't know why. It looks so much more Halloween-y if we got some purple colored paint on the walls or something. Yeah, look at that. That looks totally Halloween. That looks like a haunted house, man. Green, not so much. Orange, red. Yeah, I'm going for that purple color. It should be a rich purple color. Even though that's completely not what's going to be actually in the video. It's recognizable as, oh no, that's way too much chroma. I'm gonna make it a little dark too. And maybe we will actually not do the transparency on it then. Nah, ghost house. Cool, done. All right. I'm gonna take that over to the left. And then we got a little bit of room for my spooky stuff here. Okay, so this little guy, we're gonna. Oh, I'm in my my house layer still here. Gotta go to spooky layer. I'm gonna take this guy. I'm gonna scale him up. Same with the. Actually, you know what? Maybe we should scale both of these up at the same time, so they're equivalent. Okay, so I'm gonna take both of these. And I'm going to use the scale tool. I'm going to go for pixel percentage instead of pixels, rather. I'm going to say, let's go for 250, just like the other pumpkin, and see what we get. Oh, 250,000. No, 250. That looks pretty good. Okay, cool. I'm happy with that. I will move them up as well. So using the M key to a shortcut to move. And keep them outside of the haunted house. I don't want them to show up behind the, behind this icon. I want that icon to be there because the icon is kind of what I'm using on my channel to indicate the build stuff. So I'm going to keep that guillotine and that little spooky dude outside from underneath there. And keep the guillotine over here. Keep this guy down in this corner. Where's my text coming in? Yeah, no, gotta move them up. Actually, maybe I should even keep the pumpkin up on top of the, like he should be the dot on the eye or something. Nah, the eyes are actually a little bit small. But this guy, actually let's keep him up here. Maybe I can bring him up and put him in here. Put him in the logo. Nah, No, I won't do that. I'll keep him up here underneath house. Because then his color will pop against that purple background. It'll make it apparent. This just looks like it's got way too much going on. I want that guillotine to be super visible, and it's a little bit small, honestly. I think these are a little bit too small. So I'm gonna increase their size again with the scale. Percentage, let's go for 130. See if they pop up. 130%. Yeah, looks much better. And then we go for M for move. That guillotine, I'm going to make it flush if I can with the bottom of this. Looking pretty good. I'm going to take this guy over here too and bring him back down into the main picture. Oops. Who puts a pumpkin on the roof? I mean, really? Oh, and you know what's actually really missing on these guys is some kind of an outline. But I think because the color on the pumpkin is so bright and the color on this is so dull, it actually fits pretty good. So I'm gonna leave it like that. Looks pretty good. I'm going for it. I think that's gonna be my basic thumbnail for this one. It's something that's gonna be catchy. People are gonna say, "Oh yeah, there's pumpkins." I mean, you might not even see the pumpkins, but they're in there. And then it'll be the spooky haunted looking house. I could even put, you know what? Let's do it. I'm gonna do one more thing. So on top of my spooky layer of my house, I am going to actually light up the windows on my. Oh no, I need that one. I'm gonna light up the windows on my haunted house. Okay, so I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna use a yellow color. Let's pick a yellow, a nice bright yellow. Looks good about there. I want to make it a little bit less saturated, so it looks like lights in the windows. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to basically just grab as much of this window as I can. Looks like about right. And then I'm going to use my bucket fill. I'm going to say fill hole selection. What that's going to do, it's actually going to allow me to limit the selection that I fill, or limit it just to the bounds of the selectioner. I'm going to grab the same shape and bring it over to the other spot over here. And it's got to be just right so that they both match. I'm not going to put it up in this section of the window, even though this looks like it could be a little bit of window on the top. I'm going to skip that because it looks like there's an overhang and it looks like it should be shadowed. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use on this layer, I'm going to do a filter, and it's going to be light and shadow. I want to do a glow. Render, enhance, no, distort. There you go, soft glow. That'll do. Okay, so we're going to go glow radius is going to get a little higher. Brightness. And then sharpness I'm going to reduce, and we'll see what happens. Oh, I didn't really do anything, did it? Okay. I guess I will just use a blur then. We'll do blur, the Gaussian blur. Oh wait, I actually messed up my color on that. I need to do the coloring again. Okay. Because I want those to be yellow. Oh, look at that. Oh, there was a glow. Okay. Alright, that'll work. And then we'll do the same thing. We'll do the blur. Gaussian blur. I'm going to do side X. 7, 8, 9, 10, let's say. Okay, Abyss policy, filter, auto, I don't know what that's going to do. Let's have a look. FIR, that looks better. IIR, ooh, that looks even better still. Yeah, I like that. Okay, and Abyss policy is if you start scaling around, and I don't think that's going to help here. Yeah, we're not going to worry about that. I'm just going to say none, because that's going to do things like at the edge of where your blurs are. Okay, so I'm going to do that. Now we have this nice blurry window looking effect. I'm going to take down the opacity. So it's going to be like glowy, spooky windows. There you go. Great. Good enough. And I'm going to zoom back out to 1. Zoom 1 to 1. And I'm going to have a look at what the result is. Okay, so I'm going to pop up all of my previous stuff here. And there we go, House Builds Growl Online Classic, and it looks very Halloween-y. I'm happy with the way it looks. I've got the same logo in here. I got my pumpkin, I got my guillotine, I got my spooky haunted house. Great, awesome. So that's about it. From here, I will save this out, and then I'm going to go into YouTube and upload it on my video. Hope this helps. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will definitely see you next time.